Welcome to the class. As I've already given you a worksheet on adjectives and determiners, and today I would like to give you the kinds of adjectives. I had only asked you in the previous worksheets to identify the adjectives, which was pretty simple. But today we go a notch higher from there, and we will study the kinds of adjectives. Okay, so we all know that adjectives are the words that describe nouns. Okay, like and you can get the adjective in a sentence by asking questions like which kind, which one, how many, and so on. Okay, like Ram is a good boy. What kind of a boy is Ram? Good. Okay, so this is how you can get the answer to adjectives. Now, these are the kinds of adjectives, that we use to describe different things. We can describe so many nouns, so many things. We can describe colors, we can describe opinions, material, distance, origin, temperature, time, um, shape, age, size, everything. Adjectives can describe, and there are so many kinds. You see all these adjectives, the things that we use to describe, and the adjectives are given which are used to describe, like size can be described using these adjectives, opinion can be described using these adjectives, the colors can be described using these, the shapes can be described using these. Okay, so these are all the things, so many, and this is not an exhaustive list, by the way. So many things you can express, and the adjectives are used to describe. Now, um, all the things that we have discussed now, the various adjectives, they all come into fall into different categories. Okay, so the kinds of adjectives are qualitative or descriptive. Okay, like the easiest adjective that comes to your mind, she's a clever girl. The word clever is a qualitative or a descriptive adjective. Then the quantitative adjective, that tells you the quantity of the noun. The demonstrative tells you which one. Then the possessive, interrogative, distributive, compound adjective. So these are the different kinds of adjectives. You do not have to be overwhelmed, because now we are going to study all these in detail, right? So the first kind, the easiest kind, is the descriptive adjectives, the qualitative adjectives. So the qualitative adjectives are used to describe the quality of a person or a thing. Okay? Like in various aspects, you can describe something by using a general description, say good, bad, or pretty, um, ugly, the general description, the physical description of something. Then you can describe using the age, old, young. Then you can describe the shape, shapeless, shapely, or the color, pink, red. Okay, and useful, it's a useful thing, it's a useless thing. Okay, so all these words, they are describing something. Okay, tall, excellent, slim, young, square, plastic, right? These are descriptive adjectives, and the examples are: the tall girl in my class, the tall girl is my classmate, the students achieved excellent result. So the word, the adjective tall is describing girl, the adjective excellent is describing results. Now we come to the quantitative adjectives. Quantitative adjectives indicate the amount of things or the number of things, the quantity. So they are called quantitative adjectives. Some, much, little, enough, all, no, any, whole, several. She found many pens under the table. There was no milk in the jug. There are 37 students in this class. These are quantitative adjectives. They're telling you the quantity of the noun. The demonstrative adjectives, they are used to point out nouns, and there are four kinds: this, these, that, those. So this and these are used for singular and plural, and they are used for things which are close to you, either physically or chronologically in time. That, those, used to describe things which are away from you. That is used for singular. Those are is used for plurals. Now examples are: this is my friend Dina, those books belong to her. So this and those, these are demonstrative adjectives. Interrogative adjectives, they are used with nouns to ask questions. And interrogative adjectives: whose pen is this? Which way shall we go? How much does this cost? Whose pencils are these? Where are my books? These are interrogative adjectives that begin a question and are followed by a noun. Possessive adjectives show possession. Whose things these are: my, your, his, her, our, their, its, etc. This is her hat. Their parents came to my house yesterday. Okay. This is my dog. This is its bowl, or this is its leash. You know, the this possessive, it's used for inanimate objects, or use it for animals. It's now distributive adjectives. Distributive adjectives talk about things that we take as a group, but then we refer to them as different entities of a group. Okay, and they are used with singular nouns, like all the people in the hall agreed. So here all is not distributive. Okay, all is a quantifier, tells you the quantity, but each, either, every person, it takes that collective entity into different compartments, or it refers to them as individuals. All the cars were new. Each car was new. Okay, so like here you are taking them as a different entity, instead of taking all of them together. Okay, so this is why it says this is used to show that persons or things are counted collectively, and refers to the members of a group as individual, and used with singular nouns. Each participant was asked to complete a survey. Either of these movies would be interesting to me. Compound adjectives are very easy. These are the adjectives which are made up of two or more words. Okay, and they are usually, I always suggest students to use a hyphen in between. Lightweight, duty free, 4-foot, part-time, cold-blooded, hot-tempered, well-behaved, ill-mannered. These are examples of compound adjectives. The examples are, we have to be open-minded about things. The lady is wearing a pair of high-heeled shoes. Now, there are degrees of comparison, okay, in adjectives, and we all know about them, but we'll just have a quick brush up of these. There are 3 degrees of comparison, the 3 forms of comparison. The positive, when we are just talking about the quality of one of a thing. Comparative is when we are comparing the quality of similar things. Okay. Superlative is when we are talking about the quality of one object being the as compared to everything else of a similar uh, um, variety around it. Okay, like she is a good painter. Comparative, she is a better painter than her sister. Superlative, she is the best painter in our class. So these are the three forms of comparison. Now, these are the ways in which we form the comparative and the superlative degrees of various um, uh, adjectives. So the first one way is we use ER, or EST to form the comparative as well as and the superlative degree. Like clean, cleaner, cleanest, dirty, dirtier, dirtiest, clever, cleverer, cleverest. Okay, this is the easiest way to form comparative and superlative degrees. Now there is another way, and it is by using more and most. More difficult, most difficult, beautiful, beautiful, most beautiful. Okay, so this is how we use. Now there are some adjectives called the irregular adjectives, where there is no set pattern. Like this form, this form, there was a set pattern. Okay, here these are irregular because there is no regular pattern that these words follow, like good, better, best, bad, worse, worst, much, more, most, many, more, most, little, less, least, little, smaller, smallest, or we can also say small, smaller, smallest. Now uncountable nouns, much is used for uncountable nouns, countable nouns, so many is used for countable. The remaining two degrees remain the same. Now there are some special adjectives. Now these are, you need to know them because sometimes you read, books by English writers, some by some European writers who are writing in English nowadays, some books by American writers, and you get confused. You say that, oh, we had learned that clever is followed by cleverer and cleverest, but then there's somebody who's calling a person more clever or in superlative degree as most clever. So this is just to tell you that there are some accepted variations also. Okay, and these are the ones, just a few of them. All right. Now, a few exercises which are a part of this presentation. Now, you have to identify the adjectives used here. Try using this paintbrush in art class. Many people come to visit the fair. I went into the duty-free shop, but I did not buy anything. He doesn't seem intelligent, but he is. So, can you guess which are the adjectives in these sentences? Okay. Here are the answers. This, many, duty free, intelligent. So this is qualifying paintbrush. Many qualifies people. Duty free qualifies shop. And intelligent qualifies he. Okay. So with this we have come to the end of the presentation, the explanation. Now I would like to do a small worksheet with you all. Okay, there are not many sentences, just 10 sentences I've given. And what I want you to do is to identify the adjectives as well as to tell me which kinds of adjectives there are, they are there in each of these sentences. So I'll just give you some time to go through this worksheet. Okay, now for the answers. My father has bought a new car. So here, my is the possessive adjective, new is the qualitative or descriptive adjective. There aren't many people at the cinema. So many is the adjective of quantity, talking about the noun people. Which sari do you want? Which is an interrogative adjective. Dill is a clever boy. Clever is a qualitative or a descriptive adjective. All men are equal. All is an adjective of quantity. Here are some grapes. Again, some is an adjective of quantity. Every word of her story is false. So her here is the possessive adjective. Then neither boy has done his homework. So his is a possessive adjective talking about the describing the uh, noun homework. That girl won the second prize. So that is a demonstrative adjective. There are tall trees on either side of the road. Tall is a qualitative or a descriptive adjective talking about trees. Now, there maybe you will be able to find some other adjectives also. So good if you can find out more adjectives, and then you can, you know, note them down also. We'll discuss them when we meet. So with this, we come to the end of our class. I hope you have understood the lesson, the topic taught, and very soon we'll meet again with another topic. Till then, stay safe, children, be good, and keep studying.